back. This is my 42-foot catamaran, which I bought for €2,000 about 4 or 5 months ago. It's my goal in this boat to cross oceans, starting with the Atlantic next year. So far in the boatyard, I've rescued the rudders, replaced rotten panels, and dug out a lot of rot in the cabin tops. And this week, we're sealing them up. So I've just been going back and forth with the window, sanding it back to the epoxy coating. I've been saying that it's all gel coated, but it's not. It's an epoxy barrier coat. We're just going to paint around the frames, and then hopefully over the next couple of days I can get the windows in. Yeah, keep everything dry. The tarp is so loud and clumsy and big, so I really want to seal the boat up from the top. Also, I've been getting a lot of advice about the through hulls, and now I'm pretty much for sure just going to seal all of them up. So that will actually be my next job. So rather than putting in fittings, I'm going to have 0 through hulls in my boat, which I always really wanted. So that's jumping forward a little bit. Now we're going to paint with 2-pack epoxy paint around the frames. Hopefully get a nice flat mating surface for, I'm basically going to tape the windows on. Look at this screwdriver given to me by Yap, who came round with some tools, really nice tools. Look at this one, it has a stepped edge, beautiful. Okay. Kind of run out of paint on this side, so literally we just prioritize getting the apertures nice and coated.
Pretty decent. Quite a decent paint like.
So a huge thanks to John, who came all the way from the UK to help us, and yeah, he's made those floorboards, which I'll try tomorrow, and also reworked the hatch as well, so that's been super useful. Massive thanks as well to Rule as well, who did the, I'm not sure what it's called, the hardwood bashing strip, let's call it a bashing strip. Toe rail? Gunnel? I don't know, doesn't matter, it's a bashing strake. So now I'm going to crack on with the windows, getting the windows in, getting the boat pretty much 95% leak free from the top. Well, kind of. It's a long process, tedious, but should be alright. I've actually done one already, just to check proof of concept. My worry is that it's going to look a bit poo. I'm actually going to stick with the same colour scheme, so I'm going to have yellow decks and keep the same blue. I really like it. So I've spray painted a yellow edge to cover the VHB tape that I'm using. I still need to put silicone on this one, but yeah, this is basically how it's going to look. Massive source of information that I use usually is Andy from Boat Works Today. He's a legend. He did a window in a similar way using VHB tape. Whether with this type of window it's the best way to go, we will find out. We will find out. Oof. So I'm using 5mm polycarbonate. As with many jobs, I've run out of what I need, that being yellow spray paint. Spraying around the edges because the tape that I'm going to use, if it's completely transparent, you're going to see the tape underneath and it's not going to look very nice. Also, I'm finding using this spray paint, it's very difficult to get a good, I don't know, it's turned out okay, but the paint doesn't seem to come out of the can very well or very evenly. I guess it's another learning curve using spray paint. By the end of tomorrow, they're all going to be in and with a silicone edge around. So the tape is just for adhesion and then the silicone will go around. You'll see. I'm not using any screws for these windows. I'm using this, which I need to stop putting on the flipping gravel, VHB tape by 3M. I've seen Andy from Boatworks today do a window like this. His admittedly is slightly different in a different place, so whether this is the best technique for what I'm doing, we're gonna find out. So essentially what you do is you put tape around the four edges of the window and you leave a few millimeters there for a bead of sealant. I'm pretty happy with them. I think it's going to look a bit rubbish at first with the yellow frames on the white primed cabin tops, but doesn't matter how it looks, just matters it's watertight. This tape is incredibly sticky, this VHB tape. You only get one chance when you stick it on. If you stick it on in the wrong position, you're gonna have to start again. So I'm about 7 windows deep at this point, run out of tape. So I think I'm gonna need 2 more rolls. This stuff is expensive, but I didn't really look at the price because it's what I wanted to use. I think it's something like 25 euros per roll. So I'll have spent 100 euros just on the tape for my windows. If it works, it's a very good investment. done. Big job. Done. I think it was alright. We'll see. Because there was a lot of windows to do, you only kind of get the really, really good technique at the last part. So the ones that I've done later on are pretty good. But it's definitely all sealed up. Looks a bit odd with the yellow frame around the window. Not too bothered about that. It's all going to be painted one colour. Yeah, time will tell whether the way that I've done it is a suitable way of doing it. So the cost was, well, including the paint, the tape, the windows, the material, it's probably cost me about 300 or 400 euros because the polycarbonate was pre-cut, saved me a lot of time, and that was expensive. I think maybe even 200, and then yeah, 100 for the tape and paint, 300. It's gonna rain tonight, can't wait. But even though Sylvia was given the job of cleaning out the aft cabin, she's come back. So because the windows are done, I had a lot of rain last night and they're pretty good. I'm not sure if the silicone was fully cured before it rained. Now that that's done, we've just got some nice bonus jobs, getting everything looking nice inside. Got these floor panels. They did get a bit wet as well, and they stuck together with the epoxy, so we might need to do some filling. I'm going to do some sanding and painting, but in a couple of hours the guys at the boatyard are going to take off my mast. This is going to give me a lot of space to work on the beams and get cracking on the cabin top. It's going to be much easier, so looking forward to that. That lifting of the mast opens so many more doors. The reason why I took the mast off is not to work on the mast now, it's actually to work on the beams. So we still have some sanding and painting and varnishing of the floors for this hull, which we're going to finish, and then I'll rearrange the middle deck, and then hopefully we'll see how many people it takes to lift one of these beams. So Sylvia's going to paint the floorboards. We have epiphanes, one component primer for the inside because it's on the inside, and then I'm just going to epoxy coat the hatch, which John made good. I'd already made it, but he's put a nice bit of work into it, so it's fitting nicely. That's all sanded down and ready for some epoxy.
Oh.
Pressure's on.
Yeah.
I think I've had 2 dodgy mixes now, and I think it's from the pump on the hardener, and I'm not sure whether it's getting air in it. Obviously there's air in it there because it's not working, but oh. So we moved the deck planks, but we started moving them over the engine mounts, which need to come down anyway, so we'll just do that while it's both of us. So those floor panels have gone in nicely, the hatch is done nicely. The windows are all sealed up. Lovely. I was getting ahead of myself talking about the beams. You might have noticed them in the opening shot. We have lifted one beam so far. However, the next job is to do the through hulls. So next week's video, sealing up all the through hulls, and then we'll crack on with the beams, and then it's going to feel like, I think, things are starting to take shape, hopefully. Thank you so much to the lovely people who've been showing up beside me, my patrons, and the people that used PayPal and coffee over the last week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. So, thank you for watching. See you next week.